song to show you today called Ants Are Marching, and it's on page 17 of your book. Now, this one is just a little bit longer than the ones we've done up to now. But before we take a look at it, let's first take a look at some notes. I've brought out my great big treble clef so that it's easier to tell where the line notes are and where the space notes are. Do you see any line notes? Remember, a line note has a line through the middle of it. Point to the first line note you see. Did you get that? That's E, treble E. Treble E is our bottom line note. Now, it's a good idea to memorize that treble E is our first line note in the treble clef. But in case you forget, a little trick you can do is count up from C. I'm going to put middle C in here for us. Now, without seeing the bass clef, middle C doesn't look like it's in the middle, does it? It looks like it's at the bottom. And it is at the bottom of the treble clef. But when we're able to see the whole grand staff, which has the bass clef too, then middle C is right in the middle. But we're zoomed into just the treble clef today. So, here's what you do. If you know this is C, well, what comes right after C? A, B, C, D. We just step up from C to D. And then what comes after D? E. A, B, C, D, E. So from C, we go C, D, E. All right, now that we know that that is treble E, tell me if you see any other treble E's on here. They're going to be in exactly the same spot. Let's just use the pencil to help us. Ooh, there we go. There's the second one. 1, 2. Do you see any more treble E's on here? We use the pencil to help us. There we go. There's number 3. So we have 1, 2, 3 treble E's. Now, do you see any other line notes on here besides treble E? Point to it. Did you get that one? Yeah, so do you know what note that is? Let's figure it out. We know this is E. If we kept going up, we'll find the note. So we know this is E. What comes after E? F. A, B, C, D, E, F. This is not F though, because if you look, we've actually skipped the note that goes right here. We see it there. So right after E is F. We don't have F, so we keep going to the next note, which is, what comes after F? G. So we move from E to G. Okay. Let's start again at the beginning. Our first note is middle C, then what? D, and then what? E. And then what's this note right here? Well, we just had it right there. Do you remember what it was? We started with C, we went up to D, and then we're back at D. And then we're back to E, right? C, D, E, D, E. We already talked about that being G. What note is that? E, right? Treble E. And then we move up one more to F. A, B, C, D, E, F. Now this might feel kind of hard right now. For some of you it might be easy, but for some of you it might be really hard. Just remember, we're going to keep working on this again and again. So this is just a little bit of practice to start getting these notes more familiar. let's take a look at the bass clef. Before we look at the bass clef, turn off the video for just a second and move your body around like this. Okay, now we're ready to look at the bass clef. Thank you, Froggy. We're looking at the bass clef because now we want to find bass clef E. We found treble E before. Now we're looking for bass clef E. So, let's look at our first note. Who knows what this note is? It's our second space note, right? So that is bass clef C. So again, if you know where the C is, you can always count up from C. All right, so we start with C, and then what comes after C? D, A, B, C, D. But look it, we don't have the D, right? We're missing that line note. Do you see the D anywhere else in this diagram? It would be on this line right here. Do you see it? There's one. There's our D. We're missing the D. So we go from C, we skip D, and then we have E. There it is. All right, I'm going to go ahead and write E above this note. While I'm doing that, I want you to look for the next E. Is it this one? No. Is it this one? Yes. Okay, are there any more? Did you find that one? Good. Any more? One more. So how many bass clef E's do we have here? 4, right? And is it a line note or a space note? It's a space note, right? And which space note is it? Count from the bottom. 1, 2, 3. It's the third space note in the bass clef. All right, let's move on to our new song.